How are you marketing this out to people?
Yeah, our approach has been to go after an important logo in target verticals. So once we got Cisco,
Hmm.
we could go after other Valley tech companies, and they were reassured by the fact that Cisco was already
Yeah, but
using
how do
us.
you close Cisco? Just relationships that you have,
Yeah,
board members, that kind of stuff?
I mean the intro is important. It's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of you
Oh,
got to find
wait.
the
There's hard work involved?
yeah. I mean,
No.
you have to find the early adopters and the entrepreneurs within these companies. Every big company has folks that would rather be doing a startup. You got to find those
Oh
people
yeah.
and convince them you're going to be the one. They're going to be the one to bring the cool, sexy new app into the company. So
And then it kind of spreads like that across all platforms. And you've got sales guys that are out there now selling, obviously.
yeah, we do. We have an aggressive sales team. We're doing a lot on the marketing side as well. There's a viral component to our sales, which is fun. It's not so much. It's very hard to jump users from event to event.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
But in terms of jumping sales, so every one of our apps gets a about this app feature,
Hmm.
and if you tap on that, it says this app was powered by a DoubleDutch, and if you tap on that button, say tell me more, we're automatically grabbing your contact information because we know who you are from the app. So there's no lead form; it's a single tap, like tell me more.
Yeah.
So when we do some of these big public trade shows that are influential, you get a lot of event organizers there, and so every deal that we get begets more deals.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of cross. I mean, I love that approach. The simplicity of that. Obviously, because you have their credentials, and as long as it's very clear that you're doing that, I'm absolutely positive it is. What about you said that there's not a lot of crossover, right? So a lot of people, I think the challenge with event applications is that you download it, you use it during that time frame, right? So huge use maybe for those 3 days, maybe a little bit before as you're planning the event, and then a little bit after to remember the event. But it's kind of maybe 5 days of life at the top end, and then it disappears and it's deleted. Now, most people would look at that and say, well, that's a negative. And early on in the event app world, they said, well, listen, now that it's on the user's screen, you can communicate with them throughout the entire year till the next event. But that's not happening, is it?
It's starting to happen more and more. So I think when we first started, it was very much a disposable app.
Yep.
So we are working hard on our customer success side right now to show the things that can be done to engage people pre-event and post-event. Good example of that is we just powered an app for Tony Robbins. Do you know who that is? He's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
executive coach and the inspirational speaker, and he's a great guy, amazing guy, huge loyal fan base. And so what he's done is after his event ended, he's actually come up with a 15-day challenge of how people are gonna apply the learnings that they took away from the event. And so they're seeing massive post-event engagement as people share their stories within the app, and it's amazing to see. And we're trying to apply things like that across different customers.
But I mean, your focus is really to make sure that those days are absolutely amazing. The app is flawless. The relationships are created, and your client, the event coordinator or the event producer, gets the data that they need in order to be able to make their event better. Right? That's your goal, is it?
I mean that's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, our dream customers are companies like SAP who we're
Yeah.
working with who throw 1,200 events a year.
Yeah.
So for them, there's no downtime. Every week there's multiple events happening. And I think eventually we will get to the point. I mean, we are a bespoke app, so every one of our customers gets their own app. Like
Hmm.
SAP can deliver all of their events within a single app, for example. But we're not using the same app for Cisco that we use for SAP, for
Right.
example.
Right.
So we are bespoke, but we're also a SaaS company. So everything is running off the same database. So even though the app containers themselves are different, we're able to get benchmarks across all of our deployments. And I think eventually we're going to get to the point where we can say, hey, Rob, we saw you at Cisco Live, but we also saw you at Interop. And then we also saw you at Game Developers Conference. And so we can start to learn about you. And I think where we're going to get really tough to beat is when we have a big enough footprint that we start to see that repeat usage. Because then what we can do is we can almost deliver Amazon style recommendations. So, Rob, when you drop down into Las Vegas for, I don't know, for CTIA or something, you're getting a list of recommendations like here are the people that you should meet, here
Hmm.
are the companies that you should see, here are the products that you should demo, and here are the sessions you should go to. So it becomes more of a concierge approach. And even though we are doing these standalone apps, the volume of knowledge, the body of knowledge that we're developing across all of our deployments is able to add value to the user experience. And So just to give you a sense of where the industry is at, there's 20 million events that happen per year around the world. Massive, massive number. In the history of the world, there's only been about, I don't know, 10,000 native apps deployed. We've done over 1,000 of those. And maybe the number goes up to 200,000 if you consider mobile web apps. Everyone else is still using paper. Not too many people would argue that all that paper is not going to go away, or is going to go away. So all that stuff is digitizing. And once our footprint gets bigger, we'll be able to do some of those cross-event recommendation things we're talking about.